This feels a little too perfect how we are now. You think I throw a little caution, but I don't want this to change. Been waiting too long for a moment like this. Said that you won't leave, better off with me. The kind of feeling I can't explain. Like how it feels drenched in the moonlight. Like how it feels under the stars. A step out of bounds with our own plight. A push towards the peace in the hearts. If it rains down all on us, drown out the noise, and I'll trust the mirror, mirror on the wall. Is it fair to watch me fall? Broken up in pieces. Can you see me bleeding? Mirror, mirror, tell me please, if these broken memories are enough to break free. Will it fix us slowly? Each day I'm moving along with what fits best for. Taking me forward and back, it all I know still leads right through to the start of the end, where the past can't chase us. You should stay for a while, disregard all the miles. If it's you and I, will be okay. Like how it feels drenched in the moonlight. Like how it feels under the stars. A step out of bounds with our own plight. A push towards the peace in the hearts. If it rains down all on us, drown out the noise. Bust it out. We gon' make you move. We gon' make you loose. We gon' make you move. So baby, let's open tonight. Let me get funky. From side to side, we gon' make you lose all inside your mind. Oh, we gon' get you through this, just for one more high. So baby, let's orbit tonight. We gon' make you move from side to side. We gon' make you lose all inside your mind. Oh, we gon' get you through this, just for one more high. So baby, let's orbit tonight. Let's lose our mind. Let me get funky. wants to go. Overthinking when I'm all alone. Out of focus from all the unknown. Can you check for my vitals? Think I need revival. Broken down and fading, my heart keeps breaking. Caught up in the storm, but we're the survivors. Looking up at love in a little bit of darkness. Hold each other up when we're falling down. Never give it up because we are the fighters. Caught up in the storm, but we're the survivors. Looking up at love in a little bit of darkness. Hold each other up when we're falling down. Never give it up because we are the fighters. Underwater, swinging my fist. Tension rising, but no part of it. Nice to meet ya, been called a misfit. No need to fake it, we all got some shit. Yeah, you check for my vitals, think I need revival. Broken down and fading, my heart keeps breaking. Caught up in the storm, but we're the survivors. Looking up at love in a little bit of darkness. Hold each other up when we're falling down. Never give it up because we are the fighters. Caught up in the storm, but we're the survivors. Looking up at love in a little bit of darkness. Hold each other up when we're falling down. Never give it up because we are the fighters.
Hello, MCS. We're back with some more Rocket League today. It is Premiere, and I'm joined by Bubbly. We got some excited matchups here today. Ready to just kind of get into these things. We're gonna look at the schedule. Super excited Rocket League for today. First up, we got Superiors and Steelhawks. These are two teams that have been kind of going through it this season, but they are here and they're standing pretty tall. Superiors, I've been one of those dogs I've been looking at to stand up and get going, but I don't know. What are your opinions on this or these matches that we got today?
Well, for our first match, for the Superiors, coming off this major one, finishing second place, looking really strong. At the start of the draft, there were some questions about Sean as a first-round pick. Then that first trade window, trading for Wesley, getting rid of Mamba. I think that was a huge pickup for them. They've looked super strong, super confident, super fun every time you watch them on stream. And this Fargo team, they've struggled a little bit. They're 3-5 right now, I think, if I'm looking at the standings right. And still trying to find their footing, I think. They traded for Hams, though, for their third. I think they have 3 solid players. I think both these teams with their full roster working to improve. Either one of them we could see make a run late in the season here.
Yeah, I'm really looking at the Duluth Superiors. Last week they looked, super deadly, super dangerous, and we get to watch them twice today, which is pretty exciting. And if we see them, if we see their ceiling like we know they have, like they just play absolutely insane. But looking past that, we got Burnsville into going to Derecho, and then we got the Duluth again, going against the Bloomington, and then last but not least, it is Winnipeg Atlas in Kansas City. Now I don't know what Winnipeg Atlas is playing to do quite yet. As their entire premier roster is currently MIA, but we will get there when we get there. For now, let's look at the starting rosters here. Just going into this match,
we got Forrest, Sean, and Wesley playing against Gavalanche, Nightbank, and Hams. Like I said, both of them coming in with like a trade in that first trade window, but I think already in the major, Wesley was streaming their run. Didn't get to see much from Fargo going out in that second round, but watching Duluth stream in that run, they all looked like they were working super well together. They only had comms on, I think, for one of the series, which was a little disappointing, but it was still really fun to watch them work together and see how they adapt. But I'm curious how they go into this Fargo series. Fargo, I think, also a pretty team-oriented team. They like the passing plays. I know Night Fang, a lot of ones experience, but being that 16th pick in the first round, 17th pick in the second round, there's pretty similar skill levels all across the board on the team that you kind of have to work together if you want to overcome a team like the Superiors, I think.
Yeah, and we're gonna see if the Seahawks can do this today. I mean, looking just at the names, looking at names, they look super, super strong. Gavalanche, we've seen, him just have massive improvement recently, and he's just looks like an absolute animal out there. And just being joined alongside two extremely confident players, I think this is going to be a team that you can't overlook. But if there is a wall, I'd say the Superiors are a pretty tall one to climb, and we're definitely going to test them today. We are just waiting for the players to get into the lobby. We are almost ready. I guess we could do a little bit of an early prediction. Are you leaning one way or the other? Are you? I think you alluded to it a little, but
I think I want you to go first. I don't know.
I know where I'm staying with this. I saw what I saw last week. We've seen, them in the major perform super well. The Superiors, I think, are going to take this in 4. But I would love to be proved wrong. I would love to see 5. I would love to see 5 going either way, to be honest, because who doesn't want more Rocket League?
Right. And see, that's why I wanted you to go first, because I think I have a controversial take. I think Fargo Steelhawks, during that major, they went out early, and immediately they're in MCS General VC with 20 people all doing a replay review of their last series. So they got the whole team. I think they have the passion in them. I think they can pull off a big upset here. We'll go 4 the other way. We'll go 3-1 Fargo, just to make it interesting. But like you said, I think they're both good teams. Would love to see this go to 5. Would not be surprised at all. And hopefully we got everyone in the lobby right now, I think.
I think we are just about ready to kick things off. They're in a little antsy. They're already hopping in. Go, go, go. It's chopped in the chat. They're about to get started here. And the first kickoff is important. I want to see maybe some crazy shenanigans. I love me some kickoff strats. I don't know if they'll do any today. Looks like they're just going to play standard. Wesley does get a free ball off it, though. Night Fang takes the ball right off and actually outplays one. Oh, trying to outplay the second. Finds Ham, gets a demo. Immediately start off the scoring. Hams just tapped that one in, but it was just Night Fang leading the charge. Outplayed 4s, popped it around Sean, got the demo. Hams popped it in. That's a 1-goal lead early in game 1.
And you were the one saying that first kickoff is going to be important. Immediately we see Fargo, great possession, great pressure, and right off the second kickoff, coming back again, Night Fang gets it around 1, but Sean able to catch it on the backboard, get it past 2. Gavalanche awkward read in the corner. Only 4s with an open shot, hits it just over the crossbar. Follow up not quite there as Duluth backing off, trying to slow it down a little bit more as Boost is starting to run out, and Duluth showing that they're trying to keep a little bit more pressure, not going all in, but Fargo able to beat them around with these dribbles. That one's play from Night Fang. Avalanche trying to get in middle. Hams, ambitious jump, gonna leave a counterattack chance, but Fargo looking pretty comfortable in defense right now so far.
Yeah, they haven't really had the Superiors haven't really had anything too threatening on offense quite yet. They're just getting into this one, only a minute in. Maybe this is a good chance here. Sean gets an important demo, but the attack kind of fizzles out. It doesn't really go anywhere. Sean's trying to find a teammate upfield, but it's only Avalanche up there to meet him. Trying to maybe find a reset here. Finds it, but doesn't really move the ball anywhere. Wesley takes control in the corner. Outplays Night Fang. Up to Fours. Fours couldn't quite find the touch. Does get a nice dunk on Gavalanche to keep the ball in at least, but Gavalanche is still the first one to the ball. Sean's just going to have to try taking the ball off him. And, lots of, at least they're like getting some chances. Nothing too threatening, but they are at least trying. I mean, here they are again. Gavalanche is going to shut this one down pretty quickly, but if they can keep this pressure, I can see them maybe start, finding cracks in the armor that they couldn't see earlier in this game.
At Superiors, it feels like they're getting shots, but it feels like they're missing that final, triumphant push. That's a shot that I want to go in instead of just testing the defense. That there's these counterattacks where they're coming out of boost, and it feels like they're just opting to feel it out a little more. Maybe just first game jitters coming in, but able to save all these long shots from Fargo so far. Just that initial kickoff pressure. Sean able to beat 2 in the air. The follow-up from Wesley, though, just a little too slow, and Fours and Wesley both going to have to retreat back. Fours able to keep it in, but no shot coming through yet. Wesley trying to get it middle. Missed the bump, though. Gonna leave to a Fargo counterattack. Pinch, but Fours, again, just waiting back on defense. Opting to keep the pressure in, keep it in Fargo's half. Fake coming out, trying for a passing play, but this could be dangerous. Big counterattack. Hams open net. Slots it bottom right, and Fargo able to capitalize on Duluth's first overcommit, I think.
Yeah, Sean got a little too greedy right there, but I mean, you can understand why. It seems like all their chances, all their pressure has been dissipating so fast that he just maybe wanted to keep it going, and maybe he's got a little bit too rushed right there. They caught him lacking, and Hams is waiting upfield. Night Fang found him. That doubles up their lead. Now Night Fang's trying to make it 3. Does get shut down. Sean trying to find some sort of offense, passes it out to Fours, but immediately gets shut down again. The offense has been just getting met by a man each and every single time they try something. This time it's going to be Gavalanche who shuts it down, immediately finds Hams, his teammate. And he does go find his way onto Sean's hood, but Hams is already up to shut it down so quickly that it doesn't even seem like they had the ball at all. And who could have guessed they found Gavalanche with full boost again? They have a bit of a chance here. Fours, this time, able to close it out. They're just keeping it close here. They don't mind wasting time. They don't mind, collecting boost and playing slow. It's actually going to be Fours in a 1v3. Night Fang does all the work himself. That's 3 goals. And I would say almost every single one of those goals was, instructed or, led by Night Fang.
Yeah, Night Fang again, showing that one's prowess. He's got 2 teammates middle, but he knows he can beat the man right in front of him. Score the open net, he's going to take that. Taking a 3-goal lead, it's a big statement in this first game. There's still a minute and a half left to play. Fargo trying to keep some pressure, not overcommit too much. Fours taking it slow, passing it middle, but Wesley was waiting underneath him for the pass. Might lead to another open net for Gavalanche if he can get back to it. And he will put it away. 4 goals now for Fargo. They were playing so solid defense, and now I think that was 3 or 4 overcommits in a row.
Yeah, it just looks like the structure is not there for Superiors in this first game. Definitely something that they can quickly, talk about in between games and maybe figure out. But, I mean, as this series going so far, Steelhawks are looking just on a complete roll. They doesn't seem like they're going to be stopping anytime soon. Gavalanche trying to force it center again. Night Fang gets a free shot. It is going to be a little bit too slow. Wesley's able to keep that wide, but the pressure is building. Ham centering the ball again. Does go a little high this time. Gavalanche goes missing in the corner and leaves the ball to Fours. Fours maybe trying to open up the scoring for his team. But Hams, once again, shuts it down. It just seems like there's always a man on the ball. They can't get through the defense. Steelhawks are looking so solid on both sides of the field. Fours leaving it for Wesley. Wesley trying something again, but he sends it to the backboard. It's saved away. He sends it to the goal. It's saved away. He tries to do a fake. Someone's diving him. He had no options. It seems like no matter what they're trying, it's getting shut down or read by Steelhawks immediately.
And I might be a little biased here as Fargo gonna put in the 5th goal off a good 50 on the goal line, but I think Duluth maybe the next thing to try is demos, right? That's, if nothing you're doing to get around the player works, just go through the player, get him out of the way. That maybe you gotta try something different going into game number 2, because like you said, the fakes, the passes, solo plays, nothing's working so far. That You got to give credit to Fargo too, though. They're getting the challenges that they need. They're winning their 1v1s. They look like a great team right now, working together. Time winding down. Ham's gonna throw one middle. The Avalanche couldn't quite score. Wesley trying to air dribble across the map, get something going into the next game. Ball comes middle, but again, Fargo looks so comfortable on defense, able to kill all the time off the clock. They're gonna win 5-0 in this game number 1.
And that is a statement as well. Steelhawks not just doing that against any team. It's the Superiors, the runner-up in the major, a team that is placed 4th right now. I mean, that is a statement from Steelhawks that they have leveled up their game and they're out here to play. They're just playing with their food at this point. Superiors didn't look like they had a chance to even get running the series, and even when they did have their chances, it got fizzled out so quickly or shut down so often that it just felt pointless sometimes, and it just led to so many counterattacks, led to so many chances for Steelhawks, and the overwhelming pressure at sometimes just took them down. And if Steelhawks can continue that for the rest of the series, I don't see Superiors getting a foothold in the rest of the series.
I do want to point out though that after the first kickoff goal, there was a solid 2-3 minutes where it looked like Superiors were solid. They weren't overcommitting. They were working together well on defense. They weren't allowing Fargo to do anything on offense, and then it seemed like they were the ones that got frustrated with their own defensive play style, that they started to overcommit more. That I'm not quite sure what happened, but if they could just continue that going forward, maybe they can win some 1-0 games going into game 2, game 3, if they can just play solid defense. Might not be the greatest content for the stream, but we'll see what they adjust going here into this game number 2.
Yeah, definitely going to need some adjustment. Ham's already trying to get the offense started. It does find his way to Sean. Might be a chance here early in the game. This would be a great start. Finds Forrest in midfield, and what they couldn't do the entirety of the 5 minutes last game, they make it look easy in the first 11 seconds of game 2. Finding a goal, Sean just immediately found the top of Forrest's hood and just slammed it right into the goal, outplaying every single defender. I don't know if that was great offense from Superiors or just the lacking defense from Steelhawks. Either way, they got their first goal and their first lead of this entire series early in game 2.
It was almost cookie cutter of last game from Fargo's. They win that kickoff, they just get one pass middle around the corner, and just goes straight in this. And Hams recovered this long clear from Sean. I didn't think that was going to find its way in off the post, but it's a half volley over everybody. Hams, not even the boost pad was there for him. Not able to get to that bounce high up off the ground.
Yeah, this is just not what anybody expected. I think we can all confidently say that Steelhawks were coming off that series 5-0 with a ton of momentum. Superiors looked like they had to figure out something that just clearly was going wrong, and immediately into the game they're up 2-0, and that might just open the floodgates. I mean, sometimes that's all a team needs, 1 or 2 goals, even if they weren't the most insane peaky goals ever, but goals are goals, and that can get the confidence flowing. And it's an early lead. If you have an early lead, you can just kind of chill, you can hold on to it and watch as the other team panics. Sean trying to find a crazy play. Fours takes a nice shot, but Avalanche shuts it down. Wesley taking it to the sky is just going to play for the 50. Sean maybe has a bit of a chance here into the corner, trying to find Fours. Fours takes a touch to the backboard. Hams shuts it down quickly, trying to find a way out of the defense here. Does get it past one, but Sean easily bangs it back in. He's going to fire it towards the net. It's going to be a little high, but forces the defender to use all of his boost to get to that one. Look at that pass over to Fours. It was just a little bit too awkward. Fours thought he was going to go high. Wesley trying to make something of nothing right here. But Hams does a great job breaking up his half, and Forrest just takes another pot shot from midfield. They're okay with just taking these pot shots. They don't need to really commit at all. When you're up 2 goals, you can just kind of, play your own game. I mean, they're happy just keeping pressure, even if the shots aren't, 140 kph top shelf. I mean, just keeping the pressure. You're not going to get scored on if you're in the opposing half.
At Fargo, it's just a couple little misreads. It was a great demo from Gavalanche, demoing the third man to try and create some space to get it clear, but Duluth just so much control over the ball right now. Everything that's coming to the midfield line is just getting put right back on their net, and Fargo using all their boost just to keep the ball out. Means they can't get any attack of their own so far. Even when Nightfang gets that corner boost, he's challenged immediately, and there's a 50 that Duluth relentless with these shots as, again, Sean missing the ball finally. Hams maybe a chance off the bump, but we're saving it to the corner. Duluth counterattack challenge midfield by Gavalanche. Gets that ball mid, but Duluth, first one's there. No threatening shots coming in yet. Ball popping to the middle. Wesley with time and space and boost. Gets it over one. Gavalanche backflip, but no follow from Duluth. Again, just holding this lead. 2-goal lead. 2 minutes left in this game. They're not choosing to commit for anything so far. Another solo play coming out from Sean. Be cut off as Wesley just waiting with full boost. Waiting for a shot to come in from Fargo, and so far there's nothing. Popping the ball midfield. Fargo, I don't know what they have to change to get a goal here when Duluth just looks so solid on defense.
Yeah, one thing I noticed that has changed big time for the Superiors is that the third man is just simply not going. You know, last game we saw a lot of overcommits, and I mean a lot, and it was resulting in a lot of Steelhawks goals. And this game, the third man, you know, they got that early lead. They don't need a go. You know, they don't need a goal. They're fine with showing Forrest here. It's fine taking the slow, but knifing! Maybe just recognized he was taking it a little bit too slow, and just caught the ball and put it right under Forrest. I mean, Nightfang knew exactly what Forrest was thinking, and that cuts the lead in half, and there is still a ton of time in this game, too, where Superiors looked like, you know, they're just in the driver's seat all game long, and, you know, late in game 2, they're maybe lost it a little bit right there, you know? It just seemed like a simple play right there, but, you know, Nightfang took a complete advantage of that. Forrest does a great job to hold on, and all of a sudden there is pressure. Nightfang trying to find the backboard here. Wesley brings it across the net. No one to challenge. Gavalanche does get the ball off him, but only momentarily. Finding Wesley upfield is going to be an awkward bounce, but Nightfang opts just cleared out. Also gets a sidewall for his trouble, but it's going to find his way over to Sean. Sean just booms it down to maybe to Forrest. Gets shut down by Hams, but at least finds a bump for his trouble. Nightfang, an excellent demo, is going to leave them in an awkward spot here. Wesley does a great job to put a hand up and stop Gavalanche in his tracks. Sean trying to start the counterattack again. 30 seconds left. The Steelhawks need a goal right now.
They do need a goal right now, and Nightfang on the ball. He's the one you want. Gets the flick over one and the demo. Got a chance here, but Hams can't quite get the ball over Fours with no boost. Gonna be scrambling back to that 50 goal their own crossbar. Couldn't quite find its way in, but Fargo all on low boost. They need a counterattack soon. 10 seconds left. Nightfang going for a pinch off that sidewall. Can't find it. Now Fours with a 1v1. Gets no boost. Good demo from Hams off the post. But time has run out. Superior's gonna barely hang on to take game number 2 there.
Yeah, looked a lot better this game, and just look at the shots that were put on from Forrest. 9 shots this game. So much pressure. I mean, the entirety of the Steelhawks had 5 shots that game, which is shocking from what we saw last game, who had, you know, the majority of the pressure, the majority of the ball control. You know, they were going for bumps, they were going for demos. In this game, it just flipped on its head. You know, Superiors had, I feel like, the majority of pressure. I mean, we just see from the shots, 12 shots to 5. It's not even close. And they didn't win as, you know, dominantly as the Steelhawks did in game 1, but a win's a win. You know, they both count for 1. They don't care. They're going into game 3 pretty confidently, and I think if they can continue this pressure, they might be on a warpath.
Yeah, and we'll see how it's going, because it seems like Fargo that game, you know, playing from behind, they got to get a goal. Seems like Nightfang is their whole offense right now. Like, even last game, all those 1v1 goals, Nightfang was scoring. The one goal they got this game, Nightfang makes a good 1v1 outplay against Forza on defense. I want to see Gavalanche get a little bit more involved. You know, Hams, he's sitting back playing a solid third man, but I feel like Avalanche is talented enough. He could make some goals happen on his own. That maybe he's the X factor to beat Superiors in this game number 3.
Only time will tell. We will see getting into this game 3 who has the first foot forward. We need to see. I mean, both games we've seen really solid kickoffs right off the bat. Avalanche is going to have the first chance here, going off the ceiling. Can he find it? Sean does a great job to shut it down. Maybe lets it get away from him, though. Wesley's going to be there to cover the tracks. Finds a network. Hams does a great job putting it in his own corner. Forrest trying to aggress. Finds a team pump, unfortunately. Luckily, both cars do find their way back in their half. It could have been, tragic, but luckily wasn't that bad. Sean trying to find Wesley in the corner. almost makes magic happen. Gavalanche might have a chance off the ceiling here. He has full boost. Teammate in center as well. Wesley shuts it down quickly. Low boost from the entire Superiors. He does find that 100 though. Both teammates actually find the 100 right on the spawn. And it might, nothing's too threatening from the Steelhawks quite yet. They are keeping a little bit of pressure. Night Fang's is trying to keep this in. Maybe a bit of a shot. It seemed like a completely open net in my opinion, but it just went high, and maybe he didn't think, I don't know, maybe he saw something we didn't, but I feel like that was a chance that has gone to the wayside that they're going to miss.
It might just be like a comms breakdown. I think he got the demo on the one guy in net that could have saved it. Maybe he expected him to be there, but regardless, we stay at 0-0. Big flick middle. Gavalanche can't get to. Sean gonna have a 1v1, but Ham's up early. Able to save that one away. Gavalanche now air dribble. Wesley lats back, misses the ball. Can Sean get back? No. Gavalanche just a little floater over the top of the third man that I'm not quite sure how Wesley missed that one.
It's so unexpected from a player, as we've seen so consistent with their aerial play, just especially in Premier as well, where players are so used to just getting the perfect touch almost every single time, and this time it's just the knuckleball that floats right on over and just goes in. A little unfortunate. They're gonna want to get that one back. Steelhawks may be feeling like they deserve that one after maybe a miscommunication, but they're not gonna feel any regret or any sorrow. They're just gonna keep going the pressure. Sean trying to get insanely off the oh my goodness, almost off the ceiling into the floor double, but it does get shut down. Wesley trying to find a net word. Gavalanche stays calm, finding an air dribble. It's a 1v3. Sean's get outplayed. It was so confusing. Hams went under and threw the ball, almost looking for a demo. It was so hard to tell what was even going on. I mean, Hams was so close to the ball, and just Sean didn't know how to react and left all alone. Just couldn't get a hand or enough of a piece of it, and it just went right to the back of his net. That is a 2-goal lead from the Steelhawks. Almost made it the third off the kickoff, but Forrest got a piece of it and put it into his corner. This has been, it's been a pendulum swinging in both directions, and we're back in the Steelhawks side, and it just seems like whichever team starts winning is winning.
I'm not quite too sure what Superiors are doing. Seems like they were playing so solid on defense for game number 2 for the start of game number 1, and now all of a sudden they're double committing here in game number 3, and it's not how I would have converted it if I were Fargo, but you still converted the 3v1. That if you're Duluth, I'm like, how are you playing such good defense and then giving up opportunities like that less than a minute later? Just the consistency maybe not there for the Superiors, but Fargo doing good to take advantage of it and playing solid defense of their own too, even with great solo plays from Sean. Another shot coming out, going to be off the post, but a triple commit on no boost from Fargo. Duluth, Sean is all the way back in his net, going to have to collect it. Maybe a pass back. It's Hams. A little bit of a mistouch to the sidewall. Gets dunked out to net, but Gavalanche, good dodge on the bump. Able to get it clear. Night Fang now. He's got boosts. No one up to challenge. He misses the ball, but confuses the defender too. Pass middle from Fargo. Not going to find the teammate. I'll leave Superiors with a chance. Counterattack. Fours up in the middle. 2 people jump. Sean demos the third, but can't find the shot after the demo. Everyone from Duluth was 0 boost trying to work this one towards the net, but can't find a shot. Now Sean, the only one with boost, pops it high. Can't quite get the dunk. And this boost advantage from Superiors seems to be what they're going for the attack, but can't quite find a shot to go through. Miscommunication from Fargo on their attack. Maybe a chance. On catches. Gets it around 1. Pops it middle. Too far off net for Wesley to shoot. And Superiors, you got a minute left. You got to find something that works. What do they got to do, Zombs?
I mean, all they got to do is find one goal. We've seen that the second they get one goal, it's almost guaranteed that they're going to get another. So if they can just find one, the floodgates will open, hopefully. And, going in the last 30 seconds here, they got to find something. Sean trying to break out of his half. Night Thing shuts it down immediately. Gavalanche just trying to keep it in the corner here. It's just going to float towards the center of the goal, but Wesley was the first one there to clear the way over to Fours. Fours gets maybe a lacking touch, does find a bump on Night Fang, maybe opening up space, but Ham selling so much time, able just to dribble that so far out. It's going to find the backboard. 2 players are committing. This has to be a goal. No one was there to follow up. It was a completely open net. We've seen this a couple times with the Steelhawks actually have a misplay. We saw the triple commit. We saw the 1v3. We saw that now that time the double commit, and each time there was no follow-up on the pass, or the it just was a lack of execution, in my opinion, in this game. And Night Fang is going to get one more to sweeten the score, the points a little bit. But I mean, Steelhawks just took this game completely by storm again, and the Superiors are going to be fighting on match point now. I mean, they have to go against double match point Steelhawks, who have been once they get a lead, they are not giving it up. You need to find your first step in this next game quickly.
It's so strange to me that Superiors, they're playing such a strong defensive play style, but then every time they're getting scored on, it's because they overcommit, and it seems to be mostly out of nowhere, especially at the start of the game when you're tied 0-0, and it seems like you're playing for that 0-0, that all of a sudden giving up a goal like that, it makes it so hard to come back. And you see that third goal, they're just sending the house because they have no time left. That I feel like Superiors, if they want to win, they just have to get that first goal because they rely on it for their play style so much so far in this series.
Yeah, I mean, you could say that for both teams. I mean, I guess not. I mean, when Superiors had that lead in game 2, Steelhawks at least were able to stop the momentum and start fighting back and late in the game, but it feels like once the Superiors, lose their grip, they fall all the way down. Sean trying to outplay the team here, but Night Fang just waits for the ball to come loose and, gets a free touch around. Wesley just once again lets the ball get away from him, and it's just going to be easily stopped by a defender. The boost is running very low for the Steelhawks. This might be a bit of a chance here. Gavalanche bails them out again. Ford's looking for the sidewall. Leaves it this time. Night Fang recognizes that and just immediately gets a jump on it. Hams is here to meet Sean on the wall. Sean does a great job outplaying 2 defenders. Going to be almost completely open. Night Fang just rushes back with no boost, managing to put a hand up. And it's just, such little boost from the Steelhawks, but they're doing so much. They're getting so much value for having almost nothing. And it's just been so incredible each time. Fours almost with the bottom of the net, but once again, it's a Gavalanche with no boost, able to dive across the box and get that save. Hams all the way up with that, relieving some pressure by giving it to Gavalanche. Gavalanche bringing it across the field, trying to find a goal of his own. Off to the backboard. It's going to be Fours that doubles it. Thankfully, for the Superiors, no one was there to clean it up, and it's going to be flying into their half again. Fours shuts it down pretty quickly. Night Fang is all alone on defense for a second here. Hams does manage to recover back and cut it off. And we're back in the Superiors' corner here. It just seems like each and every attack, we're back in game 1. Each and every attack is being shut down so quickly. It's like the Steelhawks are like a Hydra. You take out one player and another head grows back. Night Fang chomps down on the defense and finds one goal to, take the lead in game 4 here.
Big miss from Fours on that corner there. The ball flying middle, but you're like, Sean's got full boost. He's got a good position in it. Night Fang still just bar down, cross the net. That's so tough to save. That perfect shot placement. Fargo taking that lead, and this is what I'm worried about. Can Duluth find a way to come back from this? They've got pressure so far. We've seen them with boost advantage a lot so far this game, but not able to convert. Is Sean trying to make something happen? Beats one the shot. 4 is just off the crossbar, but a big miss on the squishy attempt from Gavalanche, I think that was, and Wesley able to put away the open net.
Yeah, finally, they found a goal. It felt like so long that they got. I mean, did they get a goal last? No, they went the last game scoreless. So, finding a way back in the series, not letting the Superiors, the Superiors getting a foothold in this game and not letting the Steelhawks, run away with it. That is so important. That means they still have the fire lit underneath them. They can still fight back here. And the Steelhawks trying to close it out here. That there is a solid chance. They're tied up. This has been their game, just continue going on, just wait for the Superiors to make a mistake and immediately capitalize, just keep on, your solid defense and just hold out for as long as you possibly can until the Superiors overcommit that they've been doing the rest of the series. So why not now? The only game that they seemed to clean that up was game 2, but they haven't found that form since. And the Steelhawks are happy just to wait it out. I mean, here they are again, just in their corner. Nightfang taking his time, 50s one. Sean trying to find it over one, but it goes wide again. 4's last man. Actually, Wesley got back. Wesley has to put a hand up here. Maybe a bit of a double commit again, but Sean able to bail him out. Almost finds the counterattack, but it just barely got saved away. Trying to maybe find a teammate in mid, gets shot down again so quickly. The Superiors are looking super strong, but the Steelhawks are just not bowing.
The Superiors, I'm really liking all these bumps and demos that they're going for. It's opening so much space, but it's just as soon as one bump, one demo, you miss it, or they recover, or something with 0 boost, and it could all come crashing down for Superiors. Looks like they're playing on a razor's edge, but their mechanics, they're getting these good air dribble passes middle, trying to pinch it off the back wall middle, but Fargo doing good to scramble back, keep that ball out. Nightfang, again with no boost, can't find any touch on the ball, but Wesley goes missing. 4's shot chance, another bump coming out. Avalanche, 2 great 50s back-to-back with no boost. Gonna leave Sean passing middle over his teammate. Ham's counterattack to Nightfang. Nightfang gonna shoot it. 4's bumped off, but the shot just a little too high off the crossbar. Now, the Avalanche, full boost. Can he keep the ball in? He dunked out, pass to Nightfang. Gets a bump on the corner. Can't find the ball, though. Gonna leave Superiors a chance to get this ball out. But the Avalanche, big jump from midfield. Hams, low boost. Passes to Nightfang. Nightfang over one. Can't get it under the crossbar. So awkward for Superiors, all with no boost. That ball coming down in front of the net. Nobody touching the ball. Nobody committing from either team. Somehow this ball stays out. 20 seconds left. Fargo's still on the attack. Ball coming middle, but finally the big clear comes out from 4's full boost. Superiors 10 seconds left. Looking for that bump counterattack, but can't quite find it. Sean high across the net. Or is just waiting on the sidewall, not wanting to commit. They're playing for overtime, but Hams just beats the whole team. He gets it over everybody, and that's going to be the series.
That is just not what anyone expected. I mean, it seemed like the Superiors were, they were fine with going to overtime. They had played such defense to make it there, and just at the last seconds of the game, it slips, and the Steelhawks flying high take the series in 4. Look at you, predicting it correctly. Superiors, as the 4th seed, took a bit of a fall here, but I don't think they, you chin up, still got another game to play today. Just press forward. This was not the form we're used to seeing from you. Just come back stronger. Steelhawks, on the other hand, looking absolutely just, so confident, really, and so solid in defense. When they're attacking, they're just keeping pressure. They're not overcommitting. The structure was so solid, and I'm looking forward to, seeing more of them.
Yeah, I loved how the Fargo Steelhawks played today. I feel like they didn't make too many major mistakes. I feel like they played good as a team. Feel like they played good individually overall, and just waited for Superiors to overcommit. And for 3 games, they overcommitted enough times to score. That felt like Superiors were playing so solid in defense when they wanted to, and then they just didn't want to all the time. That I don't really know. I have to watch that series back, I feel like, to see what changed between game to game. It felt so back and forth for Superiors that game 1 they were coming out maybe a little flat. Game 2 they're bouncing back. Maybe we got the series back, and then it just fell off, I think, that weren't able to recover. But that's it for the first series. Who do we got for our second series?
Yeah, looking into the match schedules for the later today. We will get to see that Superiors roster later in the day, but up next, we get to watch the Burnsville Inferno up against the Des Moines Derecho, and this one's going to be hot. Now, these are 2 teams trying to prove themselves, but, you can catch all that when we come back from our break. We'll be right back in just a moment. Stay tuned.
Get it while it's hot.
I've been feeling just a little bit low. Got to get back to the show and we'll fly. Yeah. You don't have to feel like you're on your own. No one should have to dance alone, not tonight. You and me, we're gonna write a little history. You and me, just show me love and then you'll see. Memories that we make, they are never gonna fade for a lifetime. We don't give no shit if you wanna hide away. We just have to try to play second drills up in the memory bank. I've been looking for somebody to make memories in the bank forever in time. There's no reason to be hard to find, 'cause we've already lost our mind. You and me, we're gonna write a little history. You and me, just show me love and then you'll see. Memories that we make, they are never gonna fade for a lifetime. We
hello everybody. It is me, Iwu, joined by Zoms once again for our second premiere matchup. We have the Burnsville Inferno versus the Des Moines Derecho, but with a little bit of a twist as both teams will be using subs today. If you want to break that down for us quickly here, Zoms.
Yeah, I'll bring it over right here. Thank you, CT. Thank you, CT. Yeah. So we get to see Mogi 40 Bendy on the side of the Inferno going up against the Derecho with Wubik, Water, and T-Jack. You know, this is an interesting matchup, you know, not only because they got both teams have those subs from Challenger. You know, we get to see the entirety of the previous season, you know, season 9's premier winning team, which was Mogi, Water, and 40. So a bit of a rivalry going into this one. We're just going to take a quick look at the match schedule before we get into everything. You know, so we just went through the Duluth Superiors versus the Fargo Steelhawks, which ended Steelhawks taking that in 4. We're going to watch, you know, right here, a solid matchup between the 13th and 12th seed. A super important match as far as it goes for, you know, staying in the running. You know, these are two teams that are, you know, they're falling a little bit behind in the standings. And this game and this week can get them back in the running. You know, just these two, if you win both these games this week, you can see yourself coming up all the way to the brink of 9th, and which is, you know, just one game away from 8th. So these are super important games for these two. And later down the line, we got Duluth Superiors and Bloomington Maulers with the Winnipeg Atlas to close out the day, going against the Kansas City. Now, go back to the ball match. Yep.
I do not believe there's a 4th match today, so just the 3rd one after this. But the big thing is that it's two teams that are 12th and 13th, but you win today, you you help yourself as long as you can get close as you can get to the 8th seed going into that second major, the better. And that's something that both teams will look forward to whenever they feel like joining the match. So don't really know where they're at, unfortunately, but
getting into things. Take your sweet time. We're gonna stall a little bit for them. Don't worry. You know, we can actually maybe do a little bit of an early prediction if you want. Are you leaning one way or the other? I know where I stand here. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
I'm taking the Derecho all the way. No question about it. Gotta support my guy T-Jack, no matter what. So I'll go Derecho 3.
Yeah, you just took the words right out of my mouth. You know, my boy T-Jack, I teamed with him last season. What a goat he is. You know, we actually, you know, during combines this season, we saw T-Jack be put in a lot of these higher level lobbies, and he was actually performing extremely well. So I think going into this, I predict him to be the stronger substitute. Now, you are going up against Mogi 40. That is one of the best duos that we've seen in MCS history. You know, taking down Premier last season. You know, to be fair, Water, who they teamed with last season, happens to be on the other side of the other side of the pitch this season, but or this game. But man, just because I don't want to be boring, I will go. I'm gonna go with the Burnsville Inferno, and I'm gonna say they're gonna take it in 4. Mogi, you know, if he chooses on any given day, could just be the best player in MCS. I'm just going to say that straight up. Mo could just be the greatest player, and I think he's capable of taking down a crippled Des Moines Derecho.
Yeah, Mogi's disgusting. The last time we casted him, had a 1v3 to win the series for his team. On any given day, he could pop off, be the best player be the best player in the league. It's just dependent on if he gets the space and he gets the opportunity to do that. The biggest thing is I feel like the direction needs to limit those opportunities and really just force Burnsville to play at their pace. As with playing with a sub, I feel like you kind of feel a bit less pressure because it's not your starting roster, so it doesn't you don't take it as seriously. At least that's how I felt when I played with a sub.
Perfect. Yeah, we're just waiting on Mogi's closing out a game right now. Maybe he played a bit of finishing up the last series. It sounds like they're in overtime. I know it's a bit out of the fly, CT. Is there any way you can pull up the MCS format just to, show us where we're at in the season? Is that a possibility? I just want to, might as well show that.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, we are just taking down I just forgot where we are. We're week 5, yeah?
Correct.
Dude,
Correct.
even I'm forgetting. Yeah, we are blazing through this season. I mean, look how through we are. I mean, we only got week 6, 7, 8, and then that's major 2 and then land. I mean, this season has just been burning up. And, going into week 6, that's going to be the last week that teams can make those trades before, the end of the season. I think there's going to be a lot of roster mania still. There already has been a lot of roster mania. And I mean, just watching 2 teams play with their subs this week even, you got to wonder if maybe these teams are thinking about, trying to find other players. I know for Premier, it's very hard to find those players because there's not a lot of free agents on the sheet. But, if you're watching at home, feel free to sign up. I mean, that is just your opportunity. You could sign up and get picked up on so many teams. There's a lot of teams looking to make those changes, make the roster changes, and signing up right now. It might be a little late in the season, but it's never too late to get rolling. Let's see, are they in the match yet? We are
No. Still waiting.
alone here.
We're a bit ahead of schedule for once, actually, and they have thrown a wrench in our plans. Big thing, yeah. I mean, like you said, we're already into week 5, almost done with week 5, and week 6 is that final week to change your team. So I think some of the lower teams, the lower seeded teams, are going to be looking for honestly anybody. Then, especially for Burnsville, this is the second straight week where they've played with a new roster, and I mean, finding just a third that can be there when you need to is the biggest thing. The best ability is availability, and I believe finally everybody is here and ready, and they are. Game 1 for the derecho.
We are ready to get going. Sorry for the long wait, but Bogey had to finish up. He had to ice out in overtime, and getting into this one, I'm curious to see how the subs perform. I think we know what to expect out of the Premier players. These are some of the best Premier players in the entire league. Just happen to having a rough season, but they are proved veterans of the league. I think it's going to be the subs who are going to have to make up the missing ground. A Ripstott and Mogi or Water is going to have an open net. It was all 3 players on the defensive end who committed on that play. Bendy was trying his best to keep it out. 40 actually had a great switching save, but just fell on Water's hood and finds an early goal. The derecho, tons of pressure going off the first kickoff, and that is pretty promising for derecho to start things off here.
Yeah, that play there, that goal really all started with T-Jack's solo play that got it to the goal line and just kind of bounced around as Wubik's bumped off. T-Jack will look for the shot. It's blocked away. Water and a 2v1 will just dunk it out and sent back. Bendy Straw just launches it forward. Nothing really on that. Not too dangerous. Plays it off the corner. Mogi across. Nothing there. And the last time we watched Burnsville last week, it took them a bit to get started, but once they were able to find their footing in the series, they really took it to Fargo. And T-Jack goes to the corner. He's already looked pretty good as a sub. Gets the bump. A chance for Water will slow it down. Just awkward. Takes a 50. And Wubik once again down to T-Jack for the shot. Then for the goal for the sub. Always coming up big. It's 2-0 derecho.
Yeah, T-Jack, the super sub, finding the top right over Bendy and Mogi. That is a confident goal to double up their lead early in game 1. Derecho are looking confident right now. We haven't even seen them really go on their defensive end, but already putting up 6 shots within the first minute. I'll make that 7. They have just been on onslaught of pressure. It doesn't even seem like the Inferno have really had a way out. 40 is trying to dig their way out here, but finding Water instead. Wubik also able to shut that down. Mogi maybe gets a chance in the air here. Finds himself a reset. T-Jack's left alone in net. Does a great job just to, he read Mogi the whole way. He kind of went low to the ground, and T-Jack was easily able to keep that into the corner. Water now trying to make some magic happen. 40 is up so early and shuts it down. Actually finds his way over to Bendy's job, but T-Jack just has no respect, just shuts it down so quickly. This time it's going to be Wubik to try getting the ball at 40. Finds Bendy, but it doesn't really lead to anything. In fact, it's going to get all the way boomed out to the other side. Bendy's going to be left alone, but Mogi actually just decided to cut that out. And they're trying to... They're getting more chances now, but nothing too threatening quite yet. Bendy almost had a chance. Mogi, unfortunately, after finding a demo, did clear the ball, but they are at least having more chances, and they're shutting down the derecho pressure a lot earlier than we were seeing earlier in the game.
Oh, corner double attempt for Wubik. He won't find it, but it's still dangerous. Bouncing in front of the net. T-Jack last back. Mogi up. He gets the worst end of that 50 as Bendy Straw sends it long off the wall. Now cut inside. T-Jack once more. Downfield. 2 players on no boost. Wubik does get that mid 100. Bendy Straw another 50. No boost. Grabbing the corner, so he'll have to retreat. Water and Wubik both go missing. There's a chance for a shot. This one off the corner. Looks for the double. No. Looks for a good shot. Probably the best one they've had so far. As 40s was eventually saved away. Water will control as it hits off of Wubik. Derecho trying to find the semblance of a structure or a defense. Wubik to the middle to T-Jack. It's nothing there but a demo. Water with the ball. 30 boost to his name. Hits the reset. Water saved away by 40. Very close to a third. Wubik back to T-Jack. Water not there. It'll be 40. He's bumped off. Water takes control. Nothing too dangerous, I would imagine, here. And Burnsville needs to get something going. Really have not found great opportunities so far.
Yeah, I want to see Mogi, start going for his usual magic. We haven't really seen him pop off like we know, he can. It's early in the game. It's only game 1, but you got to find that stepping stone soon. Water over to Wubik. Wubik just into the corner. He's happy to take the slow. Bendy, no boost, goes missing. It's going to be a big bump in the goal. Bendy does manage to recover quickly, but it's just going to be stripped off him by Water. They're just always throwing a man on. This time, T-Jack gets the ball off 40. He's going to find their way all the way back in the corner. They need 2 goals. They're going into the last minute here. They're coming up short. They need to find a way out of their half. Bendy might be the one to do it. He just tries to get over Wubik. Wubik shuts it down. Just find his way to 40-40 into the corner, but it's easily defended by a derecho player, and Mogi finally has a chance to shine. A flip over one to the backboard. Leads it for Bendy. Bendy finds Water, and it is saved away. T-Jack on the backboard. Still pressure building. A double commit might give them a chance to relieve all that pressure. And a miss. Oh, no. And a rotation that was, a bit too aggressive, and a open net followed. Water had none of that. 40 maybe turned up the field the wrong way, and Water just slots it in. Looking at 600-plus points for Water right now. He is doing the work. He is out there cleaning up the entirety of the Inferno.
Yeah, he was 1/3 of that premier winning team, showing that him as a solo player, sticking it to his old duo on his team. Wubik back to Water. It'll be clear to Mogi. Starts his air dribble. T-Jack already up. The defense from the derecho has been very impressive so far here in game 1. 10 seconds, 40 to the backboard. Nothing there. Was looking for a bump. Bendy's beat out. T-Jack downfield, trying to do something. He gets a dunk. Will we see another goal? 40's awkward. Mogi pops it up. Water's there. What a save by Mogi. I feel like they're freestyling at this point. Still up in the air. Wubik back to T-Jack. And the ball will hit. Game 1. It's a win for the derecho.
That great play out of both teams right here. Honestly, though, derecho just looked one step ahead on each corner. I mean, they just looked like they had complete control for most of the series. I mean, Water putting up 657 points. That is a monstrous amount of points for, just the first game. T-Jack filling in that role nicely. I mean, Bendy didn't look bad himself, but T-Jack, I felt like was filling more of the cracks. He was enabling Water, enabling Wubik, and he wasn't scared just to go. He's playing against, the MVP of last season, the MCS MVP, and he's just not afraid. He's just going, he's diving, and that's what Wubik and Water need. Just a player just to go, and it's working wonders so far. Now, you need to replicate that because, it's only one game. Inferno have time to turn this around. We know 40 and Mogi are gonna, shine bright. They're gonna have fight back in this series, but fighting back means finding that first goal, and that sometimes is the hardest step. Inferno getting shut out in game 1, that's gonna sting, but the quicker you can stop the bleeding and find that goal, the better.
Yeah, for sure. As T-Jack will take it himself. Mogi with a good pinch, but it goes right to Water. The one guy, a good fake by Water. What a touch. Oh my. The little ground pinch from almost nothing. Wubik towards the net. Bendy will control. Was getting chased by Wubik. T-Jack towards net, saved. And the Derecho's onslaught continues against the Inferno. It doesn't matter if it's offense or defense. They've just looked better so far. That time Wubik does miss. T-Jack last back, waits, gets the save. Pretty comfortable for him against 40 as that one's dropped towards the net, once again saved. A good demo. Water saves again. And I just feel like the lid on the goal for the Inferno needs to be lifted if they want to have any chance in this series.
Yep, we're on the defensive end. Bendy almost finds a chance here, but T-Jack confidently able to keep that one away. It's going netward. Bendy is so awkward, just gets behind the ball. Solid 50 back into their corner, but the pressure might be building. T-Jack just throws it into the corner once again. 40 is so awkward. T-Jack actually finds a dunk. Bendy clears it away, but Water with a bit of a mistouch. Luckily, Wubik was there to, cover the spots. Mogi gets a reset. Downs it down low, just trying something absolutely crazy, but kind of just comes up short. T-Jack actually has a bit of a chance here. Plays it low. Just putting it towards net. He's okay, just keeping the pressure. This one's going to go down mid. T-Jack shut down this time. Finds Wubik, just once again throwing another pot shot on. They're just throwing on these shots and whittling down the Inferno's boost, and it seems to be working. Mogi down to 30, Bendy down to 0, 40 down to 0. T-Jack trying to find Water in mid. It's going to have to be Wubik to clean it up because it just went wide. So many chances for the derecho. Nothing, too threatening. The Inferno are looking a lot more, structurally sound on defense this game than they were the previous one.
Yeah, for sure. And it's just a couple of missed touches so far from the derecho that have honestly given the Inferno their chances. As T-Jack goes missing, he'll be out of the play for a bit. It's Mogi. Burst 2. It's Mogi. What a save by Water. Now 40 gets the pancake. Looked for something off the ceiling, but couldn't get back to it. He will retreat with 12 boosts. Another miss by Water. Needs to just calm down. Wubik will take. Wubik the flick. Saved by Bendy. Just going. That's what they need to do. They were waiting a bit too much in game 1. T-Jack to the backboard. T-Jack for the bump. And it's Wubik for the goal. 1-0, 2:19 to play.
That is not what you expect out of a sub being the spearhead on this attack. He sent it forward towards the backboard and went forward for the bump. Bendy, left frozen in his tracks. He couldn't move. If he jumps at that, he gets bumped. If he drives forward, he gets bumped. T-Jack played that absolutely perfectly and left a completely wide open net for Wubik. This is looking like a great pickup for the derecho, to be honest. I wonder if they'll just be fine with having him sub up every week. I don't know who they have on their team currently. I might be forgetting right now, but Mogi finally breaks the ice for their team. It was about 8 minutes of gameplay, and it's just a Mogi pitch. I mean, of course it is. Water with a bit of a misplay, and Bendy also goes missing, but it's just down the entire length of the field. A bit of a silly time goal, but, it's their first goal. They're going to be completely happy with taking that, and I mean, it might not be the prettiest goal, but it is a goal, and you got yourself, equalizer in the series.
Yeah, that works. It gets the lid off the net for now, but a huge miss. Water couldn't find the power he needed, but he does get the demo. It's whipped out off 50, back downfield. It's Wubik on no boost for Smokey with full, but it's dunked away. 40 with a good touch to keep it in, keep it to trouble. T-Jack looks for Wubik. Wubik to Water. Oh, it just rattles the crossbar. A good 50. Could T-Jack slot it? No, he's beat to the ball. A beautiful three-man passing play. Water still he seems a bit shaky here in game 2. We know how good he can be, how good he was in game 1. Just really needs to lock back in. 40 towards the middle. Mogi will go, but not fully commit. That's a good play there. Into the air, where he's so dangerous. Gets the reset. Mogi to the goal. Saved by Water once more. Bendy's shot goes wide. T-Jack will take it's been no boost for the derecho for almost the last minute. Mogi now gets the reset off the ceiling. Mogi the busty. He's faked. Him and 40 just standing next to each other. 40 somehow making something happen. 48 seconds. Derecho survived T-Jack with his own reset, but blocked away. Water now versus 40. 40 wins that easily. And the derecho have somehow found a way. A shot on, saved by Mogi. But Burnsville have looked pretty good lately.
And going into the last 30 seconds here, it's looking like the next goal will be the winner. Who will have it? It's going into the corner. Mogi might have a bit of a chance here from the corner. He's going to try finding a teammate. He's going to center the ball. The shooter got demoed. 40 fires netward. Oh my, Water has just been so sound on defense. He needs to transfer that over to offense if they want to close out the series. 10 seconds here. T-Jack maybe trying to find a chance here. Bendy controls on the backboard, trying to find Mogi on the sidewall. It's a bit low. Mogi just sends it in field. Maybe a bit of a chance here. Time is dwindling down. He keeps it up. 40 is going to go missing here. Leaves it for Bendy. Bendy, netward. T-Jack puts it into the dirt for overtime. Almost a chance for the Inferno, but T-Jack stays strong on the goal line to bring them into overtime. Now, next goal is a big one. It's either Inferno tie up the series of the derecho, get into a triple match point situation. This is probably the most important game of the series we're going to see. Next goal, it's flying netward. Mogi fires someone off, but thankfully Water was just there again. Mogi needs to challenge this one, but he doesn't quite find it. Just would pop over to 40-40. Gets shut down immediately. Water has a bit of space, but no boost. Just opts to pop it over. Mogi accidentally catches it on the backboard. Gets shut down by Wubik. Bendy is left all alone. Just pops it. T-Jack pre-jumping into the sidewall. Leaves it for Wubik. Wubik back to T-Jack. Almost the excellent outplay. 40 as a guardian angel for their team just manages to put a hand up and blocks it out. T-Jack once again being the one to go jump and sidewalls it. Doesn't quite find anyone in the midfield, but it's keeping pressure. Bendy might have a chance here. Pops it over to Mogi. Mogi for the sidewall. Trying to make magic happen. Leaves it for Bendy. Bendy fires off the close post there. Just goes wide. 40 is high in the air. Looking for the double. Almost does it himself, but Wubik bails out the entirety of the derecho, and overtime continues.
Yeah, I don't love that touch there from Bendy. He's being chased into the net. Oh my, it's Water. He should need to step up on offense. He will deliver the game-winning goal. It was Water. I mean, T-Jack got a touch on it. He gets the assist, but basically all Water there for that second goal and the winner. Water did his thing on defense. He showed up on offense when he needed to. And, I mean, 2-0 lead to the derecho.
Oh my, I just need to call attention to this once again. Water dropping 717 points in game 2 as well. I mean, this Water is averaging well over 600 points right now in the series. I mean, Water has been putting in saves, shots, putting in pressure. Water, it is not. There's no amount of recognition that this man needs right now for how much work he's putting in for this team. T-Jack and Wubik are doing a great job, supporting, but Water has been the backbone for this team. And I feel like if the Inferno are able to shut him down, we might see, a bit of a slower team here. I think Inferno, they need to change gears. They need to find some way into the series, and clearly what they've been doing has not been working. I mean, they managed to get one goal there, kind of, I don't want to say a fluke goal, but it just kind of bounced in. It was a bit silly, but I mean, this is basically going on 10 minutes of gameplay without forcing a goal of your own. The defense has been so strong for the derecho. I want to see them turn it around right now. We know they can. They have the most offensively sound player in the entirety of MCS, Mogi, and then his duo, 40, and, honestly, Bendy Straw, who's been showing up, honestly. I mean, he's been playing great today. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my God.
Speaking of wonderful, he had a great shot, but just Wubik just gets a wonder save, and, I mean, this has just been excellence from derecho.
Yeah, if they're going to play defense like that, I really don't know if you have a chance today, because that is a beautiful save. T-Jack to Wubik. Wubik for the double. Great touch. Bendy was just lost in translation. Water sent it over. T-Jack was caught. Mogi now the reset. What a reset. It's a great pop off it. Water will control. Has a good touch. Spin it in the air. I mean, immediately beat by 40. Wubik and T-Jack run into each other, and Bendy gets the goal. Inferno get their first lead of the series.
Starting off strong. Love to see that. They needed that. That was the first goal that they really works for. They earned that goal on their own. It wasn't some fluke goal. They, kept continued pressure. They outplayed a couple defenders, and they found the back of the net. Mogi trying to find something special, but Water just knows his tricks. He just shuts him down so quickly. And this time, they're trying to find some offense. Wubik couldn't quite find a place for the defense. Bendy gets an important touch. It's going to go off the backboard. 40's trying to follow it up, but it's actually Mogi chasing after it. Bendy with another high shot, just barely crashing into the crossbar. Wubik trying to outplay 40, but 40 Wise to it. Brings it to the backboard, trying to find it over a defender. T-Jack staying really solid here, just getting a hand up. Water pre-jumping an hour ago. Shuts it down. It's going to fly all the way back into 40's hands, who has full boost, maybe a bit of a chance here. Wubik dives. Doesn't really get the ball off him. 40 into the corner. Looking for a double. Couldn't quite find it. Mogi is also up. Water just jumps up so soon. He knows their tricks. Water is... Sounds like they have Mogi and 40 downloaded. Have not really given them a chance to get into this series. Water outplaying one. Mogi just shuts it down just in time. T-Jack over to Water. Water is trying to find a way in the series. They are trailing, but, I mean, they've been the one with the pressure going into this last about minute here. They don't have a single shot to their name, but I feel like they've been, ever since that first goal, they've been locking it down pretty well. They've been keeping the ball close, but they haven't had any sound chances.
Yeah, not the greatest touch there. A little double commit. Mogi goes missing. T-Jack will give it off to Water, who gets a good touch, but Benty's just there reading the play. Now Water once more off the ceiling, closed down by Mogi. Another touch. Wubik with it. He's gone. Mogi to the backboard. 240. T-Jack does miss. 40 out. Where's the follow? It's not there in time. Two players on top of the ball for the Inferno. A good demo. Mogi another pinch. Gives it to Wubik, but not the greatest touch. Water will just have to send it away. And that pressure that the derecho had is faded. Now 40 for the pinch. It's a miss. It's Mogi. He'll clean it up. It's a 2-goal lead with 2 minutes to play.
New territory for derecho. Inferno are standing on business, on the verge of being reverse swept or being swept. Inferno found that extra gear inside them. Mogi this time getting a goal, and a 2-goal advantage. Derecho, they don't have a goal this series. They don't even have a shot. I mean, they haven't had anything this game. It's been all Inferno, and if Inferno can keep, writing this story, keep going, keep the script going, but it's going to be tough to shut this team out forever. They have 2 minutes left to do it, though, to start the the long trail of the reverse sweep. But T-Jack trying to make that null and void. Water off the backboard reset, looking for the dunk, just barely goes missing. Wubik off the backboard. It's going to have to be T-Jack. T-Jack finds a good shot.
Ooh.
40 almost had a chance, and they finally find some pressure, and almost immediately off the pressure play, they found the back of the net. Wubik did a great job just getting 40 awkward enough to not be able to get the saves. He almost did excellent, but cutting the lead in half with 1:50 left on the clock. I mean, derecho had plenty of time to seal the deal.
Yeah, plenty of time, and they've had what feels like the better chances for the most part, even with them being behind. T-Jack will clear it long to the corner, but Bendy Straw, who has played good for a sub. Now Water takes control. The reset. One man to beat, it's Bendy, but he just couldn't get the power he needed. T-Jack on no boost with a 50. Wubik is absolutely dusted to the ball. Water pre-jumps. It's sent out. Wubik versus Bendy. Bendy will beat T-Jack once again, takes it into his corner. The physical play from the Inferno has disrupted the derecho's rhythm, it seems, as Bendy puts us back up 2. That is a great assist from Mogi. Dribbles it all the way across the field and just dumps it off right to him. 3-1 lead.
Yeah, that was great. Just timing on the challenge. Bendy just saw the opening and just struck. And he's finding himself 2 goals in this game where previously they had only had one throughout the entire series. And it's been Bendy, the striker, who's been putting away their chances. T-Jack's trying to be the one as well. It's been the subs who have had the shots and have had the goals, 2 apiece for the subs. The only difference is the Inferno are still leading by 1. A minute left, though. That is so much time, as we've already seen. These teams are, it went from a pretty stale, pretty slow series, but all of a sudden in this last, minute or so, we've seen about 3 or 4 goals just out of nowhere. T-Jack gets one flip, trying to find his way under Bendy. Wubik maybe has a chance here to find the backboard. Mogi has to do something with nothing. Barely gets a touch there. Water's just going to dive on 40. 40 left with nothing.
Oh.
He shoots high. Maybe gives T-Jack a chance to outplay. Mogi gets a piece of it. Not a great one. T-Jack shut down by 40, just barely. And Wubik does get outplayed as well. Water's keeping it in. 30 seconds left on the clock here. They're trying to keep the pressure, but they have to do it quickly.
That's a great touch and an even better 51. A save by Water. No, he almost goal. Still clears it away. Water keeps them alive in this game for the moment, but no one helps pressure on offense. T-Jack forces a 50. It'll go to Wubik. Needs to do something here, but 40 just up so early. Gotta go the length of the field now. T-Jack touches it long. T-Jack and Water both go back to Wubik. It'll hit the ground. And the Inferno live to see at least one more game.
Yeah, GG's coming out from the chat. Looking real solid here. I mean, when the derecho had their chances, I mean, they're putting them away. I mean, the team went 2 for 3 for shots, but just looking at how much pressure the Inferno had there in that entire game, it just seemed like they were trapped, you know. And if you aren't on the offensive side, you're not going to be scoring goals, even if, you know, the few chances you are getting are goals. But if you aren't getting, you know, any more than 2 chances a game, I mean, Inferno just have to put away 3, and that's game over, right? Automatically. And Inferno did just that. You know, they played excellent, you know, just keeping the ball close, always keeping a man near the ball, always having high boost, and they steal this game away from the derecho. They're trying to find their way back into the series. They still have a long road ahead of them. You have to take this game by game, but it's an excellent start for, you know, the reverse sweep. They only have to go 2 more games if you think about it that way.
Yeah, I mean, for the Inferno, it's just don't let them get 1. They've gotten 1. We'll see what they can do here in Game 4. A big Game 4 for these teams. I mean, you got to close out, because if you let Mogi and 40 get this to a Game 5, your chances of success are not very high, I would like to imagine.
We'll see about that. We're trying to, you know, derecho just want to close it out here. T-Jack trying to take it high. Actually goes missing, which fakes out Bendy. Trying to find a center. Mogi opts to clear it out. Over to 40. 40 bangs it down the length of the field. Bendy is chasing it. Does a good job just forcing it off Wubik. T-Jack pinches. It's going to leave the Inferno in a tough spot here. 40 has to make a solid touch. Does go missing. Wubik has a free chance on the net, and the derecho are continuing with their, you know, low chances but high success rate. This time, Water off the crossbar, and Wubik just slams it in. A Bendy was helpless in net. Tried his absolute hardest to keep it out, but, you know, derecho finding a lead here early in Game 4, and derecho are looking just to, you know, take this lead and never look back.
As Mogi will take it to the ceiling. Mogi looking for the double. He will leave it to his duo 40. And just like that, we are tied once more. Mogi gets bumped off. I really think he would have had that shot. Either way, it's a goal. Can't complain too much. 4:27 to play. Anybody's ball game here as another kickoff comes your way. It will go to T-Jack. Giving off. Mogi through the corner. T-Jack awkward here. Bendy just missed it. I mean, just missed the lead-taking goal. Now Wubik a good pitch down. Can someone find a goal? No, T-Jack came crashing down. 2 close calls already for both sides. Still 4 minutes to play. That's another bad touch. Where's the shot? It's there from Wubik, and it's his second of the game.
And I hate to be a broken record, but derecho, once again, their one chance on goal, they slot again. Derecho 2 for 2 on these plays. Wubik, I mean, he's finding the shots. They have enough power, they have enough pace, they have enough placement. Gonna find the back of the net. Inferno need to shut them down, or else this momentum is just gonna take them over. You know, they are keeping it close still. There's only a 1-goal game. T-Jack bangs it out. Finding Wubik, no boost, but he does get a nice touch over. 40 does have to commit some boost here. In fact, Wubik steals the boost and almost doing more here. Mogi flying high, finds his way almost underwater. Water actually does an excellent job getting a touch here. Bendy trying for a flick, does get shut down. The ball does boom into the sidewall. T-Jack, the top left of the net, the super sub, snipes the corner. Doubling up the lead, goes from 1 goal to 2. This has been a masterclass of shooting. They are 3 for 3. I cannot stress enough how well they have been striking when they have their chances.
Yeah, that is huge. 3:33 to play. And now, the momentum fully on the side of the derecho. It's banged downfield. T-Jack fakes, but he would just grab the boost. Mogi having to retreat. Wubik beats 1. T-Jack went early. It did almost work. And the Burnsville Inferno need to find something quickly. Their net is open, though. And it is a 4th goal, when I believe a 4th shot, Doms.
This is insane. It is the 5th shot. Unfortunately, Wubik did have one, but even then, it is just incredible. And might I add, Water has had an assist on each and every single one. This is just perfect team play coming out of them. Inferno have 3 minutes to piece together, this tricky puzzle, but they have to figure it out quickly. They don't have any more time. They are on a bit of they're on a clock here. 3 minutes and 3 goals. It is going to be tough, but we saw them get 3 goals last game in quick succession. They need to do it again. Mogi off the backboard trying to find Bendy. Bendy shut down by Wubik. Maybe hesitated for a little bit too long. Mogi brings it all the way back to his half, almost threatening a demo. Water just staying close, looking for maybe a ground pitch. Fakes that, goes high again, over 1, gets a reset, flips it over 1, looking for the dunk. Wubik keeps it safe, and Bendy has to start from scratch, trying to find 40 again. It's just high. Oh, thank God Mogi puts his chance away. It was just a little high. It seemed like a chance gone to the wayside, but TJ going for the squishy save here. Couldn't quite make contact. He's got that title on the squishy saver, but not seeing a whole lot of contact there, TJ.
Yeah, just misses, and that's what they needed. They needed about a goal a minute, as they will take it here. Here's Water with the reset. Looks for another good pass, but no one in the middle to take advantage of it. The Rays are just looking to control the clock, as Mogi is absolutely steamrolled. They've shut him down for most of the series, really, as a bit of an awkward play. Water a good 50. But yeah, I mean, they've shut Mogi's down on offense. He still had his plays when he's gotten that space, but for the most part, I've really been impressed with how the derecho have played. Wubik leads it for T-Jack. 1:55 to play. It's out to Water, but can't really shoot it. It's awkward. And we'll kind of just glance. It's a glancing blow towards the net, but nothing too serious. Wubik beat out. Now Water, full boost. 1-on-1 with Mogi. Mogi tries to go low and won't. Water still with the ball. Playing plenty of time. 40 just cuts it across. It shouldn't be dangerous, but it has. It has created a huge opportunity, but it doesn't find the back of the net. Just under a minute 30 to play, Zombs, and the Inferno need 2 goals.
That's got to be a headache for the Inferno. It hit every single crossbar, and even T-Jack, and it found its way out of the net. They're going to have to start from scratch, though. 40 trying to find some sort of offensive play. It's just going to find a brick wall. Immediately, Wubik taking another shot on net. Mogi excellently saves it away, but a bit of a team bump makes him a bit awkward. 40 just opts to bang the ball away. Going into the final minute here. They need 2. 40 maybe finding a chance, but he goes missing. T-Jack, in fact, bringing it down the entire length of the field. Shakes off that bump, flicks over 1. Bendy does a great job of keeping it pinned in the corner. Mogi gets bumped off this ball. In fact, Water has even more. Flip reset does outplay a teammate, but he doesn't care. He's feeling it right now. Wubik, such a great ability just to play the ball. He sees the ball, goes for the ball, outspeeds the offender. Same with T-Jack here. He just sees the ball, plays the ball. That's all they need to do. Closing on the seconds. An excellent pass into the midfield for Water to slot it. Top left. Their chances are beautiful each time. Every single touch they make is meaningful, and this time a pre-flip gets that scoop under the ball and snipes it over the defenders, almost sealing the deal for sure. 3 goals ahead. The derecho are leading this game. And who could have guessed Water with another outstanding performance with 600 points? I just can't believe every time I look at the scoreboard, he's absolutely dominating. They have to find a goal now. Inferno are running out of time.
Yeah, 20 seconds now. They need 3 goals. I just don't see it happening with how good the derecho's defense has been. Water looking for a 6th. 10 seconds to play. Mogi to the middle. It's shut down. It's probably going to go in. Yep.
Oh,
Water doubles it. 740 for him. Basically, anytime Water puts up 700 points, you're going to win. Basically, when anybody does that, you're going to win. And they are up 6-2 with 6 seconds to play. The Derecho take this one 3-2-1 with a sub. Impressive. Water gets the best of his old teammates as he's just looking for one more. It'll crash to the ground. Des Moines win.
Yeah, Derecho took the series by storm. Just really, they got momentum. They almost never looked back. They had the one, shaky series, but they immediately followed up with a massive win. It was the precision for me for this series. Derecho, they had their chances and they took it each and every single time. While the Inferno, they had lost chances, but some of them were just going, either an excellent save or a misplay. They were slipping, and I want to credit a lot of that to the derecho just playing an excellent game today, and I want to shout out to T-Check, subbing up today. He did not look out of place at all. Honestly, he looked like he fit right into that team. Very impressed with that. Yes, you have one of the greatest players in the league, Water, on your team, but still keeping up with that. Dropping a respectable amount of points yourself each game. Keeping the averages high. I liked what I saw out of both subs today, but I think T-Jack shined a little bit more for me.
Yeah, 100%. Big thing today was the defensive performance from the derecho. They were able to shut down Burnsville, and for Burnsville, you take this loss, and I don't think you can take it to heart. You're playing with a sub. You don't have your full team, but man, does it sting, because it feels like the wins were there. They just couldn't find the goals when they needed to, and Des Moines, they capitalized. That's the biggest thing. Anything else you got to say, Zoms?
No, just some excellent Rocket League. We're gonna hop into the next series as soon as we can. We have to go for a quick break, but don't leave. We have a couple more exciting matches ahead of us. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.